Quick story for you, just as we head into the 11 a.m. news. There was a time, a long time ago, at a radio station not that far away, and we were rather rebellious. We felt like we were the cowboys and cowgirls of the local radio scene. It was a brand new radio station that started up. We played top 40 music, and every April the 20th, okay, on April the 20th at 4:20 exactly in the afternoon, we would play Bob Marley's One Love. Okay? So just let that sink in for a minute. On April the 20th, 4th month, 20th day, we played Bob Marley's One Love. Obviously, if you're picking up what I'm throwing down here, we had a number of choices that we could have made, but that kind of fit with what we were doing on that radio station at that time. And the phones would light up, pun intended, and people would be thanking us for doing, and we're like, what do you mean? We didn't do anything. It just so happened that this song was scheduled on this day at this time. If you're keeping up with all of that, I am going to hit you over the head right after the 11 a.m. news, because there is zero subtlety in the song that is going to be released tomorrow, one day ahead of April the 20th, the 4th month, the 20th day. It will be nowhere near as subtle as we thought we were being all those years ago at that other station. Have I got your curiosity piqued? Good. Stay with us on the Mike Farwell Show. This is City News 570 and Rogers TV.
Come on, everybody. Clap your hands, sing along. Let's all have some fun and sing the marijuana song. Passing a tokey, giggle, laughy, fun tobacco, feel like you make you happy, have a snacky, giggle, smoke, puffy, tokey, take a big rip and pass it on. The world's much better when we all get together, when we're loving one another, having fun. So let's have a hoot, a puffy, toot, and all sing the marijuana song.
I'm pretty sure I told you before the 11 a.m. news that this was far less subtle than those days a long time ago at a radio station not far away. On April the 20th at 4:20 p.m., we would play Bob Marley's One Love because we could. We thought we were being clever. The audience seemed to appreciate it. That was so long ago that cannabis had not even been legalized yet in Canada. It is now, and so we can have a marijuana song. Hit you right over the head with that. Kevin Westphal is the singer-songwriter that put it together, and he sits across from me in studio this morning. Good morning, sir.
Mike, how are you now?
I am top shelf, and you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
I'm wonderful.
Let's start with the little snippet of the song that we just heard, which will be, I believe, released officially tomorrow, one day ahead of 4:20.
Yeah.
You have been known to make the occasional cheeky, parody-like, gimmicky song. Where did the idea for this one come from?
Well, this one, I've been playing clubs, hotels, honky-tonks, stag and does, bar mitzvahs, farm fields. I've played pretty much every venue you can think of, and there's always been marijuana people. Let's face it, every time there's a live music venue, there's marijuana, and that's been going on since the 60s.
Absolutely.
So the idea has always been there. And then, with the situation and what's going on in the world today, I'm so sick of politicians dividing the people. I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could unite people through music again and actually have fun loving each other? And I kind of took the two ideas and smacked them together, and that's what I got. You know what, Kevin? I love that about this because I understand the underlying message in the song. Right.
You're going to catch attention when you have a song called the marijuana song, of course. And as I said, and as we just heard, it hits you right over the head. There's no subtlety there.
Right.
But the underlying message, and I remember hearing this from a police officer decades ago, and he told me he would much rather go into an apartment where there had been a noise complaint or some kind of complaint where there is a whole bunch of people sitting around smoking weed versus a whole bunch of people sitting around drinking alcohol? Because he knows right what he's coming into. And so you're getting at that here. Like, can't we just all get along?
Well, we need to, like it says in the song, the world's a better place. The world's much better when we all get together, when we're loving one another, having fun. We got to get back to that. That's the only way we're going to get out of the troubles in the world that we're all facing right now. And it's not just here. It's every country. We're dealing with everybody hates each other. And it's all because of every problem in the world right now is because of politicians. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to argue whose fault it is, or one guy will tell you it's his fault, the other guy, it's the other party's. They're all guilty of it. And if you think they're going to fix it, they're not. They're going to make it worse. It's up to the people to love each other and make it better.
Why do you, as a singer-songwriter, think it's important to insert yourself and spread this message through your art?
That's a good question. I never really, when I started out doing this, I knew I did a song 25 years ago all about high gas prices. And when I did that, I knew that I had a connection with the people. What it was, I hadn't figured it out yet. I feel like I relate these songs somehow. What I'm doing the people relate to it. It's not mainstream music. It's, you call it whatever you want. It's funny, all these years I wear the hat and the cowboy boots and everything, I'm thinking my audience is country, and it's totally not. My audience is actually more on rock radio and that demographic of people. Children, I have kids like my music. It's just I have some sort of a connection happening with people in Canada right now. Maybe they see the genuineness of what I'm doing, trying to come across with, right?
I think that's exactly it. And you're, again, in this song, the underlying message being, hey, can't we all just love one another and get along? You talk about that high gas prices song. You also had a great hit with your song about a day stuck on the 401. We can all relate to this, Kevin.
Well, that was through the pandemic. I think I was on your show. We did something.
That's right, in the evening show.
It was quick. We did something there, and it was through the pandemic I realized the people are listening. Like, all of a sudden, people knew the words to these songs, and I'm getting feedback, and with the internet, it's crazy the feedback you get from people. If they don't like you hear about it.
Yeah,
and if they love you hear about it. But I realized through the pandemic that I had some sort of, people are listening. And I wrote this 401 song, and through that, like I said, I tapped into the people all related to it. And it didn't matter if it was country music, rock music, there's little kids, 10 and 11 that are singing this to me. Like, I get, the feedback has been great. And people to this day, still every day I hear about it. Oh, there's something flipped over on fire on the 401. They'll let me know. I get updates from everybody in Ontario now. But the whole thing's just been a really crazy journey, right? And I love doing it.
From the 401 song to the 420 song, its official release will be tomorrow. It's called The Marijuana Song. Kevin Westphal, singer-songwriter, in studio with me this morning. I want to talk about the video for this Marijuana Song as well.
Great.
And the local music community, how it's come together to create this. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more. Kevin Westphal, a.k.a. Canuck, in studio with me this morning on the Mike Farwell Show. City News 570 and Rogers TV. It is called The Marijuana Song. It will release tomorrow officially on 4/19, one day ahead of 4/20 You guessed it, the singer-songwriter Kevin Westphal, local boy, in studio with me this morning. The song, which you'll be able to find on Spotify, by the way, comes with an accompanying music video, Kevin. And this is like a who's who of the local music scene, really. I mean, honestly, including, not the least of whom, is Grant Haywood.
Yeah, Grant Haywood as Tom Snary. He's back on the drums. And the gentleman playing the piano, his name was Roy Groth. And there was a gentleman playing a big stand-up bass. His name's Pete Harrison. Great guy. He's played 100 years. Everybody knows him. And when I found out I could have him on the video, I was just tickled pink to have the guy there. And then the gentleman playing guitar is Al Widmeyer. And Al played lead guitar for Stompin' Tom.
Right.
So the characters in that, like being around those guys is just a riot all the time. Like, they're all seasoned and traveled and can tell hundreds of stories of playing on the road and whatnot. They're great guys.
And Grant was with Major Hoople's Boarding House, a local band from way back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Grant, awesome guy. He's a big part of my music, big part of where I am today. Him and Al have been with me right from the time I'm 20 years old. That's how long I've known those guys, which is only 4 or 5 years ago.
Of course it is. Yeah, it is. Kevin, what's it like in the music scene locally today? I mean, it's changed so much. I just mentioned that, your new song, the Marijuana Song, you can get on Spotify tomorrow. I know that's where we can find Kevin Westphal's music, Spotify. It wasn't always that way. What's it like in the music industry today?
The music, it's not a good situation.
No.
And there's no venues. I guess if you want to go out and hear a guy with a guitar, you can do that. But the clubs I used to play, they're all gone. They're either burned down or they're out of business. And we used to play 4 or 5 nights a week, 3, 4 or 5 nights. Sat in the afternoons. We traveled all over Ontario. And it was you couldn't get another person in a club. Now it's gone totally opposite. Nobody can go out and afford $15 for a beer. The bar owners go, if you order a steak and a beer or whatever, the steak is, about that big, and they want $100. Like, people just can't afford to go out right now. They can't. It's not a good scene. So musicians, we're forced to. You can do a lot of private shows. People have backyard parties and stuff. There's still a lot of stuff going on in the private parties and corporate parties and stuff like that, right? But as far as the traveling working musician like Tom Snary, traveling up and down the 401 playing clubs, it's not a good situation right now. You're eating craft dinner, right?
Yeah. What keeps you going?
I've got an audience. I know I've got an audience now, and I really love what I do. And I'm not. Am I making money? No, I don't think I'm losing money, but I sure as hell not making any money. But I really love what I do, and I know at some point it's going to come to an end. I'll be too old to do it, and I'm so grateful to have all these guys around me. That's the cool part about it. I'm having fun with all these really cool guys. And none of us are getting any younger, right? But it just seems one project just goes to the next, right? So it's just really rewarding. That's what's keeping me going, right?
I had the chance this morning, Kevin, to check out the official music video for the Marijuana Song. How much fun did you have putting this thing together?
Oh man, when I first set out to do this, I wrote the tune and I heard it back, and when I write, I get ideas visually before musically. So I had the vision of what I wanted to do before I wrote the song, literally. And I thought, how the hell am I going to do this? I need it to look like there's, 300 people singing with me. I need it to be in a room with high ceilings. I need it to be in an area where people can actually smoke marijuana and have fun, right, without any red tape. So there was a lot of things to coordinate there, and lo and behold, as soon as I got the song recorded, started talking to my friends and fans, everybody rallied around me. I had one guy up in we shot the video on a fella's farm, Rob Mitchell, up in Mapleton. And he invited me up with open arms. He said, if you want to do it in my shop, go right ahead. And we went up and we looked. The shop was fabulous. Perfect. You couldn't ask for a better place. And then I thought, okay, I need a Volkswagen minivan for on the stage. I just throwing it out there. Kevy, we can get that for you, buddy. I'm like, are you sure? No problem, bud. All of a sudden, there's a Volkswagen sitting there. Thought I'd throw another wrench into it. Well, I need a real big reefer rolled out for the people to pass. Well, we can do that too. Bang, there was a 6-foot reefer rolled. Well, what about a 9-foot bong? Can we get one of those? And the young fellow says, yep, Kevy, we can make one of them for you. And lo and behold, all this happened. I have no idea, but the people rallied around what I was doing, and we were able to pull this off. And then halfway through the coordinating of it, the gentleman where I record, Fred Smith, I recorded his studios in Kitchener. Fred is probably one of the smartest guys I've ever worked with. And he'd said to me, who are you going to get to film this? And I said, well, I've got cameras myself. I can probably do it myself. My son helps me. We have different people involved that when we do these projects, I have different options with cameras. And Fred, he said, I recommend you give Danny Bailey a call. He's the guy. Like, he'd be up for this challenge. And so I phoned Danny, and I was on the phone with him maybe 2 minutes, and I had a best friend right on the spot. I never met a nicer guy. I think I met him years ago when I met a lot of CKCO people in that clique back in the 90s. He seemed very familiar to me, but he was excited to do the project. And he ended up bringing Claude and
Kevin
Dewar.
Yeah, those guys were great camera guys.
They were an awesome guy. And the people on set, when the people showed up, that was the other thing. We had maybe 30, 40 people at the party, and they all loved these guys. Like, Danny had the meeting out of it. He could have got them to do anything. And everything, the whole night just lined up. And then a good friend of mine named Kevin Carroll, he lives out in Elmira. He has a sound and lighting company. And I said to him, can you light this thing up for me? Like, how can we get her happening? And he says, I can do that. And he showed up with a trailer full of lights and smoke machines and the whole bit. And the whole thing, backdrop, curtains, the whole bit. And the whole thing ended up looking like a professional. We looked like we're in a TV studio, and I was in the shop in the farm in Mapleton, right? And
you had a 9-foot bong and a giant reefer, and you did not get shut down by the local constabulary.
No. Well, that's right. That's right. And everybody had fun, and it was clean fun, and we had Pop-Tarts and grilled cheese going and the whole bit. It was a good old party. And I got to say, the people up there are fantastic. The Mapleton area.
My gosh.
If there's anybody listening right now that's from up there, I tip my hat to you guys. You're great people. I want to come back.
My good friends, the Israel family at 3 Gen Organics in Mapleton Township. Good folk, too. Salt of the earth types. Where can we find you, Kevin, and your music, so people, if they're intrigued by the marijuana song, can learn more about you?
Well, you can always... I need as many friends as I can get, Mike. So if you want to friend me on Facebook, like I said, I need as many friends. I don't have too many friends, and friends are good to have. So Facebook's good, or you can catch me on YouTube. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube, that'd be great. Or my music's on Spotify and Apple. It's up. All the songs are up.
Kevin Westphal, Canuck. The marijuana song drops tomorrow. Find him on Facebook. Find him on YouTube. Find him on Spotify. Find him right here in the studio with me. It's great to have you here. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
This is the Mike Farwell Show on City News 570 and Rogers TV.